Eric Stevenson, Bronx Democratic assemblyman, arrested for taking $20,000 in bribes after fellow lawmaker Nelson Castro cooperates in case against him. So here we have, this is several politicians now from the New York area are being caught up in bribery and corruption scandals. He had $20,000 in bribes to help developers of 2 adult daycare centers. What's funny is Stevenson and others referred to their illegal cash payments as blessings. And I'm going to get to that quote in just a second. But I think it's funny how their illegal cash payments are called blessings. We steal money from your accounts. It's called a haircut. You know, none of these things are called outright theft or bribery is what they are. Let's go now to that quote. Stevenson, 46, said, "Bottom line, if half the people here in Albany were ever caught for what they do, they would probably be in jail," he said. So who are they bull-essing? And, you know, what does that say? Well, you got New York. They're rooting out all these corrupt politicians. The rats are turning on each other. And what does that say? Well, just at the end of last month, New York Post had an article. New York is the nanny state with the least freedoms, national study. So you got salt, you got soda, you got guns, you got high taxes, basically anything, even cigarettes, anything that can be, you know, grubbed at with the politicians is done. Let's go to the first paragraph here. New York's big government, with its hands deep in taxpayer pockets and regulations controlling everyone's lives, has made the Empire State the worst in the nation for personal liberty, a new study shows. Well, you have corrupt politicians, you have high taxes. What are you going to get? Less freedom. There's a perfect example of it right there in New York. You go to California. Remember last year we covered the story of the people working in a small city. It was a small city. Like the city manager was making over $700,000. And for a city of like, you know, 40,000, ridiculous. But that's what these people do. They get the tax base, they get their money, they just start jacking up rates, they start jacking up property taxes, and then they siphon it off for themselves.
Visit Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. When you're on the site, you can also tune in 24 hours a day to my daily radio broadcast. There's also a free iPhone app to listen to the syndicated radio show when and where you want.